Hello and welcome to Connolly Outdoors. This is my camping channel, and today we're going to do a gear, not a review because I've already reviewed the buddy heater, but this is just some other ideas, some add-ons that you can use the buddy heater with. Okay, so the first thing, of course, is the buddy heater comes with these 1 pound canisters. Now, if you watch any of my last couple videos where I was hot tent camping and I had a hot stove, that's fine, it's awesome, I love the hot stove, but the hot stove usually goes out overnight because I don't feel like getting up every hour and a half and stoking wood. I'd rather be sleeping. So as a result, I bring the buddy heater along and I run that. But unfortunately, these tanks, even on low, only last 2.5 hours. So it's really not much better than the stove in terms of running the heat all night. Still got to get up and change these. So on high, these last, you'd be lucky if you get 2 hours out of them. So with these 1 pound tanks for 3.5 hours on low, that's about all the time you get. You get about 3.5 hours, which isn't bad, but you still got to get up and change it, obviously. When you run it on high, which I would have to because it's extreme cold that I'm in, you get maybe 2.5 hours. So you're not getting any sleep. You're constantly up changing these things, or you're up stoking the stove. So there's got to be an alternate way. Well, the alternate way is this right here, which is the 20 pound tank. On high, you will get about 11 or 12 hours, and on low, you'll get about 24 hours. So 24 hours on low is awesome, but I'll be running it on high through the night just because of the extreme cold temperatures that I will be out camping in. So I wanted to show you guys the hookup. So I'm just going to hook up these two, and I'm going to tell you something funny. When first time I hooked this up, I turned it the way you normally would turn something to hook it up, and I was trying to figure out why is this not attaching. Well, the reason is the hookup is the opposite way to what you normally do. So I thought something was wrong with the tank, I thought something was wrong with the hose, but no, something is wrong with me because I wasn't doing it right. So I'm just going to connect this up here at the propane. And I'm going to connect it here. Also can be difficult there. You got to find the spot. There we go. Sorry, this is a regular turn. This is the opposite. This is a normal turn. And then once I get that in there, we'll do the soap test and make sure that everything is working fine in terms of the attachment. But that's basically how you hook it up. Then I take this tank, I put it outside of the tent. I don't keep the propane tank inside of the tent when I'm using it. I always put it outside of the tent after I hook it up. Got to be safe. Anything can happen. It's better to be safe than sorry. So let's get this propane tank soaped up, tested, and then we're going to put it outside the tent. Okay, so I'm going to do this soap test, and just a little bit of dish soap, a little bit of water, shake it up. Don't leave a lot of water in it. You want it to be full of suds, and you want to put the suds around where the gas are secured on either end. All right, so let's start with the first one here. Get this out of the way. Next one. Okay. Turn it on. Should get a nice bit of gas flow happening here. Do not see any bubbling whatsoever. So I think we are good. All right, so second thing, before we turn this on, I want to talk to you about is this fan. So I've got this attachment here, and this is a fan that is circulated by heat. There's nothing else that makes these blades move except heat, maybe wind, I guess too, but the purpose of this is to get the heat to be moving around the tent, because one thing I found with the buddy heater without the fan, gives off heat, but it goes straight up. And it's warm at the top of your tent or it leaves your tent. But where you're sitting, where you're lying, where you're down low cooking, etc., it's cold. It doesn't do a lot. With this fan, it's very much like with your stove. You put this on your hot tent stove as well, and you've got hot air that's blowing. Now you need this to clip onto the hot tent stove. So this is the clip, and it clips onto the hot tent stove, as you can see. And it sits in here and in here. So I'll just put it in there and you can see. So it sits in there like that. And it's pretty darn secure. It's pretty safe. It's not going to move around. And the fan is awesome. So let's get this now. Let's now get this fired up, and we can see the fan going. I'll just take it off one more time and show you the attachment. Clips right on. It's really easy to put on that clip. The clip came with this fan. I bought it special for the buddy heater. So I can put links in below. They're Canadian Amazon links, but I can put the links in for the hose and for the fan here. And for my American friends, maybe you can find the same thing on the us.com Amazon. All right, so let's get this started. So we're going to go to the pilot. We're going to put the pilot on, push it down. Now you got to wait for the propane to come through. So you might have to hit this pilot a few times. Oh, it came through quick. There it is already. Turn it on low. Just wait for it to fire up a little bit. Oh, the flame went out, so we'll do that again. That's fine. There's the flame. Hold it down just for a little bit. If you can see that flame, turn it to low. And now it's starting to spark up. And now you can see that the heat is starting to come off that. Now, one thing, you don't want it too close to the tent. So I'm just gonna pull it off a little bit. Now, normally I would have this tent pegged off. The tent's not pegged off right now because I'm in my backyard. And now you can see that fan starting to go. There's the fan going. It started up really quickly, and that's on low. It's giving off quite a bit of heat already. So as I was saying, the tent is not pegged. If it was pegged, we wouldn't have this tent leaning in like this at all. It would be quite a bit further spread out. So no fear of the buddy heater catching the tent on fire. Plus, I tried to keep a very safe hot tent using the stove or the buddy heater. I try to keep things as safe as I possibly can. So with it tarped out and, or pardon me, tied out and also guy lined out, the tent is going to be much safer and much more secure than it is right now. But today we're just doing this for video demonstration anyways. So This buddy heater is giving off a fair bit of heat on low already. So this thing is fantastic. So my plan now, if you watch my other two videos, my plan now is to run this propane tank all night. So I'm still gonna have my hot stove and I'm gonna let the stove die out, but shortly before going to bed, set this up. I'm gonna let this run on high all night. And is it safe? Well, I believe it is. My own experimenting, lots of videos that I've watched, manufacturer says that it's good indoors. Also, I don't have it with me here right now because I'm outside, my door is wide open, there's tons of circulation here. But I would always recommend you bring a carbon monoxide detector. I have several. I definitely bring it when I'm camping. When I close these doors up, you want to be safe. So you want to make sure that if you're using the buddy heater or any kind of heater that is propane gas fueled, and if you're using a wood stove, you definitely want to make sure that your carbon monoxide detector is with you to keep things nice and safe. So I highly recommend it. So this is a much better way to heat your tent in the cold winter. When my son and I go camping very, very soon, we're just chomping at the bit. We can't wait to go back up north. It's probably going to be -20, -25, and we're expecting a lot of snow. And we have a surprise that we're going to let everyone in on when we get up there. And it's very, very exciting for us. So we just want to save that surprise until we're actually out in the field camping and enjoying ourselves. So this is the buddy heater with the propane tank and the fan. And the fan is giving off a lot of heat. This is on low. So let's turn this up to high. Oh yeah, you can really see how that cranks up. So that's the buddy heater on high, and you can see it's fully engulfed now. The completely orange. I think it's orange. I'm colorblind like Steve Wallace and I are the same. I think it's orange. Could be red. I'm not sure. I can see that the buddy heater is red and black, so I'm not as bad as Steve. But there's certain colors, I just can't identify them. I don't even know what the heck they are. But I'm pretty sure that's orange. Let me know in the comments. That's the buddy heater on full, attached to a propane, which is going to give me lots and lots. I got about 10 to 12 hours of time on high. So this is going to be awesome. We are so excited to get out camping. I mean, I've been camping my whole life, but every time I go camping, I learn something new. And it was actually Steve Wallace that I saw with the propane tank. And I knew this for the longest time, but I didn't think I'd need it. I didn't think it would get that cold without the stove or the buddy heater on. But I discovered last time camping, when it went down to -12 inside of this tent, that I do in fact need to keep a heat source running. My son and I froze in our sleeping bags. Now some people would say, oh, you got to get a better sleeping bag, your sleep system. If you check out one of my other videos on my winter sleep system, I've got an awesome sleep system. Plus I bought a new cot, and the cot's got a mattress. I've got a -12 sleeping bag. I have R4 rated sleep system mattress type thing that you sleep on. You blow it up and you sleep on it, and it keeps me pretty warm. But when you get down into very, very cold temperatures, you definitely need an additional heat source. So my recommendation, buddy heater or stove. Now, this thing is giving off beautiful heat right now. The fan is awesome. Thanks very much for joining me in this quick video, this quick review on some the fan and the propane hacks. I wanted to mention something about this propane cord. This propane hookup, I forgot to mention it earlier, it comes with the buddy heater. In other words, not with the buddy heater, but it's designed for the buddy heater. One of the complaints that a lot of guys have about using a propane tank with a hose connection is that the hose gungs up or bungs up the filter inside of here. And as a result, you don't get very much use out of the buddy heater and it dies out and you can't use it. This particular hose is designed for this heater, so you're not going to have that problem. So I recommend don't go and buy those cheap Chinese hoses that can do the same job as this, but because of it damaging the filters inside of the buddy heater, you're not going to get a long lasting lifetime for your heater. Get the heater that's designed for the buddy heater and you won't have any problems with the hose or the filter. Thanks for joining me today. I'm having a great time just sitting in my hot tent with my buddy heater. But thank you very much for joining me. My son and I will be out soon. Our next video is going to be coming out pretty soon, a couple weeks. So, thanks very much for joining me, and as always, keep camping. See ya.